Hi guys, this is Avnish from Edureka. Welcome to this session on Tableau Dashboard and Tableau Tool interface. In this session, we will see what kind of interface Tableau Tool has to offer, what all functionalities are there in this tool, and how do we create a dashboard in Tableau. So it's a practical session guys, so all these questions will be getting answered in the practical itself. Now before I get into practical directly, let me just quickly tell you what Tableau exactly is. So Tableau is a data visualization tool focused on business intelligence. Now, what is data visualization? So data visualization means presenting your data in pictorial or graphical format, which helps to bring better visibility and easier decision making backed with data. Now, Tableau offers 5 main products: Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Online, Tableau Reader, and Tableau Public. So Tableau Public and Tableau Reader are free to use guys. I am going to use Tableau Public in this session. Now for this session, I have a Superstore dataset guys. Let me just open it. So this dataset is based on a group of superstores in US of an organization. It contains all the information of those superstores from regional level to transactional level. You can see the data is very exhaustive guys. So a lot of data is there. You have all the order, ship date, ship mode, customer ID, what was the name of the customer, country, city, state, region, product ID. We have different categories of products over here, their subcategories, product names, number of sales, quantity, discount, profit. So we have a very good data set here guys for this session. So by using Tableau on this particular data set, we will learn how to create a dashboard, which visualizations to use, when and where to use those kind of visualizations, right? How to understand a business problem and solve it through dashboard visualization. There would be a lot of questions which regional manager of different region and managers of each superstore would like to be answered, right? The regional managers can further deep dive into pain points. He or she can do root cause analysis and bring out actionable insights which will help to increase their business. So there would be multiple insights which they would like to know. So that's what we are going to show through Tableau. So pay attention guys. The questions which we will answer today through our Tableau dashboards are, the first question which we will answer is, what is the overall trend of sales and profit of superstores? How different regions have performed so far and which region has been profitable or non-profitable so far? So that is the first question which we are going to answer, right? Second, how different states have performed so far? Which states are showing promise to grow and in which states the investors should stop investing? The third question will be, how different segments of the superstore is doing in terms of sales and profit in different regions as well as states. Fourth, how much revenue is getting generated by each category? Which all category or products are hampering the revenue of the organization? Finally, we will visualize how the year 2015 will be in terms of sales based on the past data. So right now we are having data from 2011 to 14. So based on that data, we will visualize how the year 2015 will be. We will predict the sales number for each month using forecasting in Tableau. So forecasting guys is basically about predicting the future value of a measure, right? So these all 5 questions we are going to answer in this particular session. And we will be answering these questions through our Tableau dashboard. So let me go to my tool now. So as I said before, I am using Tableau Public. It's free to use. Okay. So this is how your interface looks like, guys. So when you open your Tableau Public, the first thing which you need to do is you need to connect to your data set. So you have multiple options over here to connect to your data set. So I am having an Excel file over here. Let me just click on this Excel. And my data set is there on my local system, okay, in D drive, sample superstore. I will select this data set. Just give it a couple of seconds and it will load this data inside your Tableau. So can you see? It has loaded the data inside Tableau. If I just click on this orders, I will get all the data which was there in that sheet on my Tableau. So you can see there are multiple data types over here, guys. Now ABC means string data type, okay? Hash means you have numerical data type. If you have assigned something like calendar, that means it's date data type. If you have a data like, let's say, Boolean data type, okay, you will be having T/F. So these all data types by default Tableau will be able to find it, guys, but it's not default, okay. If you want to change your data type, all you need to do is just click on this data type, okay. You will get multiple options to change your data type. Now, after you have loaded your data, the first thing which you need to do is you need to create a worksheet. You are getting one option also here. Go to worksheets. So let me click on this sheet. Okay. So this is how your worksheet looks like. So as you can see, the data which you were having, right, they have been divided into dimensions and measures. So Tableau assigns each field in the data source to either dimension area or measure area in the data pane. So this is your data pane. So whatever data was there, right, it has been divided either into dimension or measure depending on the type of data, right? So if a field contains categorical data such as names, dates, or geographical data, Tableau assigns it to dimension area. And if a field is having number or some aggregated data, they come to measure section. So guys, this is default, okay? You can move the dimension thing to measure also. You can move the measure parameter to dimension also, okay? So this is completely default. Now, let me create a sheet, okay? I just want to explain you a few of the basic functionalities which are there in Tableau. So I will create a sheet called profit leader where I want to show which all states are more profitable, right? So this sheet is not related to the insights and the questions which we are going to answer. I'm just creating this sheet so that you guys get a feel of the functionalities which Tableau has to offer, okay? So what I'll do is I'll just right click on the sheet and I'll rename it. I'll name it as profit leaders. Now pay attention, guys. So you have multiple parameters in dimensions, you have multiple parameters in measures as well, okay? And so the most important thing, guys, in Tableau is which kind of representation to choose. So one by one, as I go ahead and I'll be creating multiple sheets, I'll be using almost more than 5 to 6 representations, guys. So I'll be telling you when to choose which kind of visualization, which kind of representation you should choose. So it completely depends on what you are trying to show, right? So your type of visualization depends on that. So here I'm trying to show the profit leaders. I'm trying to show which all states are more profitable. Now, as you can see, I have something called longitude and latitude over here, guys, right? So if I double click on latitude, it will automatically come in rows. If I double click on longitude, it will come over here. So you can see by default, it has given me recommended as this one, symbol maps. So since I am having latitude and longitude, symbol map would be the best thing to represent the visualization because everything will be coming on the map, guys, right? So that's why I'll be selecting this representation for this profit leaders sheet, right? So the next thing what I want to do is I wanted to find which all states are doing more profit, right? So the first thing which I need to do is let me just select state and put it inside colors. So I'll be explaining you guys one by one all these things. Don't worry about it. I will just click on add all members, okay? And then I wanted to know profits. So my profit is over here, okay? I'll put my profit in this one size, all right? And next what I'll do is I want to label my states also. So I'll put it in label. So guys, let's see what is happening over here now, okay? If I just zoom in it a little bit, or maybe this one only, right? Can you see California and New York and Washington are majorly leaders in terms of profit? If you see, Texas is in minus, the profit is not there, right? So what all I have done over here is my longitude and latitude is defining which all states lie where, okay? Where all states are there. I have given state for different color. So if you want to represent your states in different colors so that California is yellow and you can identify easily, so I have placed state in the color tab, okay, in the color option. Now size, I have placed my profit in size. So whichever state is having more profit, the bubble will be bigger. Can you see? New York and California have bigger bubble, okay? Nevada and Colorado are having smaller bubble because they have lesser profit or in negative actually, right? So Michigan you can see, and then Wisconsin, right? Montana. So they are having lower profits. That's why the bubble is small. If you see Washington, California, New York, the bubbles are bigger. So you can define the size also as well, guys. Now label I have choose for state because I wanted the state name also. If you remove the label, they will be just showing the bubble. Okay, your state name won't be there. So I wanted to show state name as well, right? So this is a simple representation, guys. Okay, now if you want to see category wise, if you want to add some kind of filter, let me just add a category, guys. Over here I will select all. Okay, now you can see according to our data set, majorly we have three categories, right? Furniture, office supplies, and technology. Now let's see, we can see in different category how they are doing, right? Let me right click it, and if you click on show filter, right, you will get your filters here as well. So let me just remove all, and I just want to see in furniture, right? So in furniture it's different, right? $7,194 profit. Okay, California is 9,000 something, New York is 5,000 something. If I go in office supplies, okay, 25,000 something, 37,000 something. That means office supplies is generating more revenue. You can clearly see that, right? More profits. Technology, okay, in technology you can see New York is bigger than California. If we go back, if you see in office supplies, New York is smaller than California, but in technology, so New York is the bigger one, right? So there are multiple parameter, guys, filters, right? Color, size, label, tooltip. Tooltip is nothing but basically when you are hovering over here, right? You can see you are getting state name and the profit, right? So you can define it through tooltip. If I just click on this tooltip, it is giving state and profit. If you want some other parameter as well, right, you can add it. If you want to remove any of the parameter, if you just want profit, you don't want the state name because state name is already there, you can just remove it, right? So that is what tooltip is, right? And also you have something called responsive and on hover. If you select on hover, you can see it will take 1 second or something to show. If I change, see, when I am going over there, it is taking almost 1 or 2 seconds. So you can create it responsive. I would prefer to go with the responsive one so that whenever I am changing, it's very responsive. Can you see? Whichever states I'm going, it is showing me state and the profit. So guys, this is my first sheet where I wanted to show some of the basic things like what all we learned over here is dimension, measures, right? Filters, how to use the marks pane, right? Color, size, label, tooltip, okay? Columns, rows, your all the category and state, all the filter and everything, whatever is there in mark, it will come over here also, right? So this is our first sheet. Now let's move ahead and create a new sheet for the first question which we decided to answer, right? So let me repeat the first question. What we want to answer through this particular sheet is, we want to know what is the overall trend of sales and profit of superstores so far, right? And how different regions have performed. Which region have been profitable and non-profitable so far. So that kind of trend we are going to show in this particular sheet, right? So let me give this sheet a name. I will just, okay, I have already created a sheet. Let me just right click on this, rename it. So I will give it as overall performance. Okay. So guys, since I know Tableau, right, so I'm able to identify which all parameter to put where. In case you guys are very new to Tableau, no need to worry about it, guys. As you go ahead and learn Tableau, right, and you create more and more sheets and more dashboard, you will get to know when to put it in column. Basically, it all depends on what you're trying to find out, right? What question you are trying to answer. Just like in Profit Leader, I had longitude, latitude, and I wanted to know the states which are giving more profit, right? Which all are leaders, right? So I placed longitude here, latitude here, I placed state over here, profit here, and then I categorized it. Okay, so once you go ahead and create more and more sheets and dashboard, you will get to know depending on your question, depending on what you're trying to find, where to put which all dimension and measure. All right, so now here we want to find out overall performance, right? So let me go ahead and put some of the dimension and measure in rows and columns. So firstly, I will put profit in rows. Okay, I will put sales over here. Okay, and where is my order date? And order date, I will put it here. Right now it is giving me yearly. Let's represent it in quarter. That will be better representation, right? It will show you. Now, can you see guys, earlier it was trying to show me bar. Now it is trying to show me it is a line representation, right? So when you're trying to show a trend, this is the one, line representation, right? When you're trying to show some kind of trend, right, line representation should be used. And also in line representation you have multiple options, right? Line discrete, dual lines. So there are multiple representation here, because I want to show trend from starting from 2011 to 2014 for profit as well as sales. That's why I have selected as line representation, right? Because it will give me more insight looking at the visualization it is showing me right now, right? So my quarter, my order date is here, right? According to the quarter, my profit is here, my sales is here. Now let's work on our filter and marks pane, right? So my question has to answer region wise also, right? So I'll put region in the filter. Okay, I will select all region right as of now. I will apply it, click on OK. And I want to also drill down and know category wise as well. I will put category filter as well. Okay, select all, apply. Okay, so you have your category filter as well. Let's select one more filter guys in this sheet, subcategory. Let me select all, apply. Okay, now what you can do is, right now everything is here. Just to ease the process, you can go to all the filters and create and show filters, so that right on the right hand side you get all the filters. You can scroll the region on the top, you can scroll the category in between. Okay, so this is how guys it looks like from 2011 to 2014. This is how the trend of profit and sales looks like. So now if any region head is looking at this this kind of visualization, let's say that region head is of central region, he wants to see how central region has done so far in terms of profit and sales. He or she will select central region. Can you see? Central region hasn't been so profitable guys, right? It's okay. If I go to east, this kind of profit is there. So now in 2014 east is doing profit, right? In the beginning it wasn't doing much of the profit. Now if I go to west, can you see west is the most profitable, and even in the terms of sales, right? So clearly by seeing this trend, right, you can see that west is doing better than the other region. Let me go back to central. Right now we have seen west, right? This kind of profit and this kind of sales is there. Now let me just remove west and go back to central. See what kind of sales and profit was there. So there is a lot more difference between the central region, okay, and the west region. So just by looking at this kind of visualization, you can see overall performance region wise, right? Which kind of region is doing well, which kind of region is not so profitable so far. So the first question which we were supposed to answer, right, can be answered by this kind of visualization guys. Now that we have answered our first question, let's move ahead to the second question. So let me tell you what was the second question which we were supposed to answer, which we are supposed to answer. Okay, so how different states have performed so far. Now that we know how regions have performed, we want to drill down it to states, right? So how different states have performed so far, which states are showing promise to grow, and in which states the investor should stop investing, right? So let me create a new sheet. Okay, I will rename it as scatter plot. I will tell you why I am naming it as scatter plot. So the scatter plot is used to plot data points on horizontal and vertical axis where you want to show how one variable is related to the other variable. So what I'm trying to say is, when you have a pair of numerical data, just like we have a pair here, sales and profit, right? And you want to show how one is related to another. When you want to show the relationship between sales and profit, which is also called correlation, right? At that point, you use scatter plot. So you need to have a pair of numerical data, just like we have sales and profit here, and we want to show the relation, right? Because one variable is dependent on other, right? Just like more number of sales will give me more number of profit, right? So I want to represent that kind of data over scatter plot. So let's see how to do that. So my profit and sales are here. Let me put sales over here and profit over here, right? And scatter plot. So here you will get the visualization scatter plots. Okay. Now I will put according to all the states, right? So there are different states. So I will go here and select state, and I will filter it by region. I will select all the regions. So now whatever data was there, right, the relationship between sales and profit according to all the states have been represented on scatter plot. Now you can see the data which I am having right now here is very asymmetrical, right? It's skewed data I'm talking about, guys. So the data is not symmetric. What I mean by that is the data is not uniform, not consistent, right? It is changing. It is very asymmetrical. So I need to take a reference line here, right? Right now you can see it's 0, 0. I want to divide this data into 4 quadrants so that I can see where I have the opportunity to grow my market, right? Which all market are really profitable so that I can retain that market, right? And which markets are not so profitable, right? So that I don't invest in that market anymore. So I need to divide this asymmetrical data, right? Skewed data into 4 quadrants. So for that, right now it is taking reference as 0, 0. So I need to change the reference, right? Now either I can take mean or I can take medium value to get my reference line, right? So what is mean? Mean is calculated by adding together all the values and then dividing them by number of values you have. So as long as data is symmetrically distributed, this is fine. But if data is not symmetrical, it can be misleading, right? So medium, on the other hand, is the middle value. So 50% of the value are above it and 50% of value are below it. So when the data is not symmetrical, this is the form of average that gives you better idea of any general tendency of data. So since my data is asymmetrical here, I will go with median. Now let me show you how I can make my reference line as the medium value of sales and profit. Now if I go on sales, if you just click on this axis, right, sales, you can see a blue color is there. Sales, right click on this and go to add reference line. Okay, so we will make a reference line. Now sum of sales, right now it is average, right? So average is not correct. We want to go with median. Go with median. I don't want to show the computation. I will just select it, label as none. I just want to draw a reference line related to median. Okay, click on OK. Can you see you have a reference line now for sales, right? So that is your median, 22,205. Same for profit. I want to draw a reference line with median. Right click on profit, go to add reference line. Okay, select median, don't want to label it, click on OK. Can you see you have the reference lines now, both for profit as well as sales. So now my data is getting distributed correctly. What we need to do now? Now can you see all the data are there in similar color, right? What I will do is I want to divide this data into different quadrants. It is getting divided actually into different quadrants. I want to represent in different color also. I want to aggregate, right? So now what I'll do is, so guys, now to represent your data in different quadrants, okay, which quadrant they lie, we need to create 2 parameters, okay? Profit parameter and sales parameter. So let's go ahead and if you just right click over here and go to create, you get one option, okay, parameter, right? So click on parameter, name the parameter. So let me give it as sales parameter, okay, sales parameter. Okay, I will select it as float and I will give it as 22,205, the median. Okay, the median which we found for sales, I will give it as sales parameter over here. Okay, and click it on OK. So that's, you can see one parameter has been created, sales parameter. I will create one more parameter, guys. go to create parameters and click on profit parameter. So my profit parameter is 2196. Okay, this is the median, right? And click on OK. It was 2196, right? Yeah, 2196. So now we have sales parameter and profit parameter. Why I created these two parameters was because I want to distribute my data in different quadrants, right? With different colors. Now let's see how to do that. For that, we need to create a new field, okay? New calculated field. For that, again, go here, again, click on right click, okay? Go to calculated field. This time you need to go ahead and click on calculated field. I need to create a calculated field and I will name it as identify quadrants, right? So I want to name my quadrants wherever my data is lying, right? Different state data. So different plots of my states, I want to differentiate by quadrants. Okay. So this is the pane where you need to put your condition to differentiate in the quadrants, to identify the quadrants. So I already have that condition, guys. I will explain you this condition. Just give me a couple of minutes. Let me just put this condition over here first. Identify quadrants. So let me show you what I'm trying to do is. So now I have 4 quadrants, right? I have divided it into Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So now I'm trying to say here is, now if my sales is greater than my sales parameter, which is the median value, okay? And if my profit is more than profit parameter, again the median value, put in Q2. Now if my sale and profit is both more than the median values, it will come in Q2. This one is the Q2 quadrant, right? This one is the Q2 one. Otherwise, if my sales is more than sales median, which was their sales parameter, whenever I'm saying sales parameter, consider it as the median value. And whenever I'm saying profit parameter, consider it as the median value of profit, which was 2196 over here, 22205 over here, right? So if my sales is more than sales parameter and if my profit is less than the profit parameter, put it in Q3. If my sales is less than sale parameter, if my profit is more than profit parameter, put it in Q1. And if both sales and profit are less than sales parameter and profit parameter, put it in Q4. So I have differentiated into the different quadrants. Now if I click on OK, guys, the name is identify quadrants. If I click on OK, you can see one measure is there, right? So this is the measure which we need to use. If I just put this measure into colors, it will be differentiated. So right now data is getting divided into different quadrants, but guys, can you see we are getting only 2 different colors, right? Blue and yellow. There should be 4 different colors according to 4 different quadrants, right? So let me just go and check. Let's go back to our sales parameter, because the different quadrants and different colors are all getting decided according to the profit parameter and sales parameter, which is there in our this field, right? Calculated field, identify quadrants. So now let me go back to sales parameter, right? So what is happening over here? Now can you see it is come back to 14 because we had selected range. We need to select all. Now come back here and put it again. Your sales was 22205, 22205, right? Now can you see you are getting different colors for sales, right? Go back to profit. Same thing we need to do in profit as well. Again, we don't need to select range. We need to select all. 2196 was the median. Click on OK, right? Now you can see there are different representations, right? And your identify quadrants is here. Your Q1 is blue in color, your Q2 is yellow in color. You can change the color, guys. You can just click on this, and if you want to change the color, right, you can change the color also, right? You can edit colors. Just right click on this and click on edit colors. You can change the color to the quadrant as you can like, right? Let me just double click here. You can see the scatter plot now easily, right guys? So this is the scatter plot, guys, where I have represented all the states, right? How the states are doing. Now let me just minimize it a little bit. I will click on show toolbar and minimize. Now what you see by this kind of representation, guys, right? California and New York, and also Washington are doing very, very well, guys. Can you see that? So they are doing very, very well in terms of sales and profit. So now by looking at this scatter plot, guys, the managers, regional managers, right, they can decide where to invest more money and where not to invest, right? Define now how the states have performed so far. So basically California, New York and Washington are doing excellent, right? Basically in California and New York, the business term which can be used over here is retain, right? So that you retain these kind of markets. Whatever is happening over there, the sales is also good and profit is also good. So retain this market, right? Now, let me just double click it. Can you see these all states, right? Delaware, Minnesota, right? These kind, New Jersey. So here you have opportunity, right? They are developing. So the term is develop. So basically what managers and regional managers can do, they need to move this market over here. They have an opportunity over on these markets, right? On these states to move these states to here. Right now only California, New York and Washington are there, right? So these states also have that kind of opportunity so that they can also move it over there, right? Because they can have more number of sales and they can have more number of profits, and slowly these states can also move over here, right? But if you see these all states, right? If I just minimize it a little bit, I think Texas will be there in the minimum. Yeah, Texas is there where profit is not there, right? So the term is assess, right? You need to assess what is happening in this market, what wrong is happening, right? Because the sales is too much, right? The sales is there. Texas is having a good number of sales, but the profit is not there. So you need to assess what is wrong, right? What is wrong in this state? What is wrong? You need to identify the problem here, right? And over here where you don't have much profit, right? Much profit, much sales, you need to divest. You don't need to invest, right? If those states are not doing very well, right? The sales are also less, okay? The profit is also in negative. Basically, you can stop investing in those kind of markets, right? So this is the kind of insight, right? There are a lot of insights which we have given through this scatter plot to our regional managers and managers, right? We have shown how the states have performed so far, right? And which all states have been profitable and which all states have been non-profitable so far, where they can invest more and where they can go ahead and divest, right? Stop investing, and where they have opportunity to invest more and more and move it to move it near the leaders, right? Just like New York and California are there. So few of the states, right? These all states have opportunity, right, to move it till there, right? So that is our second question, guys. So we have answered our second question as well. Now let's move ahead to a third question, right? So the third question is how different segments of Superstore is doing in terms of sales and profit in different regions as well as states, right? So now we know about states. Now we will drill down to different segments. So let's go ahead and create a new sheet. I will just click on new sheet, okay? And I will rename it as segment. So segment at the rate of profit, in terms of profit. So we will create two sheets, guys, in terms of profit and in terms of sales. Okay, in terms of profit and in terms of sales. Let me just click on it. Now in this sheet, guys, segment at the rate profit, we will be using representation as pie chart. Okay, most of you guys have used this kind of representation earlier, right? So pie chart is a type of graph in which a circle is divided into sectors that each represent a portion of the whole. So the reason I'm using this pie chart is because we have different segments, right? So they will represent a portion of the whole. Different segments will be divided into different portions, right? So that's why I'm selecting pie chart over here. So let's go ahead and see how can we represent it, right? So firstly, I will go and select my region. I will find my region over here, and I will go ahead and find segment. Now segment, I want it in different colors, okay? And I will go and find profit, which segment is giving me different kind of profit, right? Right now my representation is different. I will select as pie chart. It will come as pie chart as well over here, right? So this is the kind of representation you get. We can add some filters over here so that we can see how different regions have done, okay, how different states have done also. I will just select all. I will go to state and I will select all. I will apply, right? And I will just right click on show filter, click on show filter, and everything will come here. So my region and state is also there now. All right, so we have represented our profit right now depending on different segments, right? So we had 3 segments, guys. If you remember, home office, right, consumer and corporate. So there are 3 segments and we have made pie chart for each of the region, right? Central, east, south and west, okay? And we can filter it also. So if I just want to see for central region, so I can see corporate is the majority portion in this pie chart for central region. Is this the same for west also? No. So consumer is taking the majority portion of this pie chart, right? So consumer is the major market over here for the west region. So similarly for different region, we can see which all segment is there, okay, which all segment their market is, right? Just like central is having majority of market in corporate, right? And in west, majority of market is there in consumer. So just like we have created this sheet for profit, we will create a very similar sheet for sales as well. So what I'll do is, the sheet will be very similar to this kind of sheet. What I'll do is I'll duplicate this sheet, okay? I'm not going to create a new sheet again, and I will name it as segment @sales. So the only change which I am going to do over here is, instead of this profit, I will just remove it. I will put sales over here. Okay. So here segment @profit, how different segments are performing in each region in terms of profit, and here in terms of sales, right? If you see central region sale, in terms of sale, consumer has given more number of sales, right? Also in south, so consumer is giving more number of sales, right? And here in terms of profit, central was having in corporate, right? More profit was there in corporate, not in consumer. But in, if you check on sales, the sales is more here. So what do we make out of this data, guys? The profit in central region is more in corporate, but if we check out in sales, consumer is there in more number of sales. So let's say if they increase their sales in corporate in central region, the profit will also increase, right? Similarly, if you see in west, their profit and sales are matching, right? So similarly, they have more number in west region, they had more number of sales over here, right? In consumer, similarly, sales has given, similarly west region, the profit is also there in consumer, right? In terms of sales and profit, both consumer is performing good. So this is the kind of insight, guys, which we can give segment wise. So how they have performed in profit and how they have performed in sales. If somewhere sales is more and profit is not more, that means we can decrease the sales, okay, because it is not giving me much of the profit. But if some region where profit is more and sales is less, we can increase sales, right, so that we can increase the profit as well. So these kind of insights we can give to the regional managers and managers, right? So now we have answered in terms of segments also, what kind of questions they can get. So we have answered their question in terms of segment also. Now let's move ahead. The fourth question which we were supposed to answer was, how much revenue is getting generated by each category, and which are category or products are hampering the revenue of the organization. So now we have seen segment. Firstly, we saw region, we drilled down to state, we drilled down to segment. Now we are moving ahead to our category products in terms of revenue, right? So let me create one more sheet over here, guys, and I will name it as revenue by category. Right. So I have created a new sheet now, revenue by category. So now what I'll do is I want to compare the values here, okay, depending on the revenue of different categories and also subcategories. I want to compare, I want to show the values, right? So the best representation for this would be a bar, right? Using bar, I can just show what kind of revenue each category has made, and inside each category how subcategories are performing. Now let me show you how the visualization will look like if I use it as bar, okay? So what I need to do is, first thing I need to go to sales. I'll put it in column, okay, and I want my category and subcategory, I will put them in rows. So let me find where category is. Firstly, I will put it as category. After category, I need to put it as subcategory. I want to see how the revenue is there, right? And then I will go and select as profit, and I will put it in different colors. Now can you see how my bar representation looks like right now? Okay, it has changed the color also. Let me add few filters. So firstly, my first filter should be region, right? My second filter, I can select my state, okay? I can see which all state are giving me what kind of revenue, right? And then finally segment, all, apply. And again, similarly, I can create show filters so that all the filters come over here. Let me align it. Now can you see, guys, over here there is a bar over here, right? Different colors, yellow and blue. So blue is on the positive side. So blue is on the positive side, right? These kind of profit, max profit they have made, and this is the minimum profit. So anything which is coming in yellowish color, right, it is not generating revenue, right? They are in negative, okay? They are not very profitable. So if you see, if just by looking at this kind of visualization, you can see this data, right? In furniture category and in subcategory table, this is the most unprofitable category. In furniture category, this is the most unprofitable subcategory, right? Tables. So this is the one which is hampering my revenue, okay? Because maximum loss I'm having in this subcategory, because chairs, paper and accessories, copier, phones, these all are giving me good profits, right? But in tables, in bookcases, and also in supplies, right? So these kind of subcategories are hampering my revenue. So just by showing this kind of data, right, the person can visualize which subcategory they need to pay more attention, okay, and which subcategory is hampering their revenue. So this is the question which you wanted to answer, right? If you see, now I want to see which reason is hampering me the most. Now if I just remove it, if I go to central, okay, so central, you can see you need to check the profit number also, right? Minus $3,906. If I go to east, so the east is the one which is hampering my revenue the most in terms of tables, minus 11,000. If I go to south, okay, minus $4,623. If I go to west, west is almost performing good, okay, minus $3,140. So east is the reason, so west is performing good, okay. If I go to east, right, east is the reason where the regional manager has to put more attention, right? He needs to see why this subcategory table is giving this kind of profit. What wrong is getting there? So that's how people see, right? Now the regional manager is seeing the data of east region, right, and he is able to identify subcategories table is giving more, is hampering the revenue. What he or she can do is, if you just right click on this data and go on view data and come here and click on full data, you can see you have almost 80 rows, okay, 80 transactions are there over here which is affecting the revenue. So what regional manager can do is, he or she can identify whether the issue is there. He can much more drill down. He can find the root cause analysis, right? He can find the root cause analysis. He can drill down. So which team is responsible for this kind of profit, right? Whether it was logistic team or whether other team, and he or she can provide this kind of data. Let's see, your team has hampered the revenue of the organization, and this is the data. right? This is the data where we were affected. So we need to improve on this, right? So that our revenue goes up, right? So he or she can share the data also with the corresponding team. So this is the kind of insight you can get it by revenue by category, okay? And by plotting it on a bar. Now let's move ahead, guys, and answer our final question. Now our final question, fifth question, was how the year 2015 will be in terms of sales based on the past data. Now we have our data from 2011 to 14. Now we want to predict how our 2015 will be. So for that, we need to use forecasting feature, guys, which is there in Tableau. If you go into analytics, you will get something called forecast, right? It's about predicting the future value depending on your past data. So let's go ahead and create a new sheet, and I will name it as sales forecasting. Sales forecasting. Okay. So that is my final sheet which I'm going to create over here. Now what I need to do is, first thing, I'm talking about sales here. So let me put sales in rows. Now I need a timeline also, right? Because I'm forecasting my data. Go to my order date, year. Again, I'll go to my order date. I want it month wise also, right? So this is the kind of representation I'm getting, guys. Now the best representation which we can show over here is area, right? This is the best representation. Earlier we were getting lines, right? Because you want to show your forecast, where were your dips, where the sales, everything went high. So area is the kind of representation you want to use in the forecasting. So I will use this one, area. Now, okay, again it has changed to month. Let me go back to order date and put year as well, right? So my year also is there, my month also is there. Month, Jan, Feb, all the month it is showing, right? Let me add few more parameters in the sheet, guys. So I want to filter it in terms of category. I will put category over here. Apply, okay. And the first thing of filter should be region actually. I will put region also. Apply, okay. Now the most important thing, go to analytics. Right now you can see they're giving you the data of 2011, 12, 13, 14 depending on the data, right? Now you want to forecast it for 15, right? How the next year will be depending on this data. This data is till, I guess, 2014 November. So we have the data till to November, right? And December also as well actually. So now you can see you are getting an option for forecast. Drag forecast over here on color. Now drag the forecast. Now all you need to do is just double click on this forecast. Can you see the forecast has come over here? Okay. And if I just come drag over here, yes. So it has forecasted for my year 2015 also. You can see color combination for actual. This is the actual data, right? 2011, 12, 13, 14. This data we were already having, right? And this is the estimate. 2015 will be there. Now if you see a trend, right? In September and November, the sales were rising. If you come to 2012 in September month and in November, sales were rising. Come to 2013, September, November, September, November. So this is a kind of trend, guys, right? So using this kind of trend, you can predict your 2015 also. You can see September, again, the values, the number of sales is going high. November, the sales is going high. So guys, we have forecasted the data. So guys, we have done forecasting for sales for the year 2015 as well. So that was the final question which we were supposed to answer. We were supposed to forecast it for year 2015. Now that we have answered all the questions, right? Overall performance, my scatter plot, my segment, my revenue by category, and my sales forecasting. I need to show all this in a dashboard, right? So I will be creating a couple of dashboards. So our dashboard is nothing, guys, but a group of sheets. Just by looking at the dashboard, right, the regional managers and the managers of Superstore should make out what we want, what we are trying to analyze, right? What we are trying to show, all the insights, right? The answers of these questions should be visible in that dashboard itself, right? They won't be going sheet wise individually, right? If they want to see a particular sheet, they can go to sheet also, but my dashboard should represent all the insights, right? So for dashboard, what you need to do is you need to come over here on the second option. It is giving me new dashboard. Click on this. This is my first dashboard, guys. This is my first dashboard where I'll be adding my sheets and I'll be creating a dashboard over here. So let's go ahead and see how to create a dashboard. Now to create a dashboard, you will get a list of sheets over here, right? Whichever sheets we created just now, right? All the sheets will be here. You can select which all sheets to add in your dashboard. You can add all the sheets. You can select your sheets also. So right now, the first thing which I'll be adding over here is overall performance. Okay. So I want this to be there. Now, there are multiple options, guys, which you can, how the way you want to represent it, right? There are multiple options. This is just one way I'm trying to represent my dashboard. You can change it the way you want, right? So for example, in the region, I will select it as list of values. For category also, I will select list drop down. Subcategory also, I will select drop down. Okay, all. So by default, when you're dragging your sheet over here, everything will be in tiled mode, right? Okay. I will right click on the sheet and I will select floating because I want to resize everything. Okay, I will select it as floating. I will just drag it here. I will select everything as floating so that I can place everything wherever I want. Floating. All right. So, and I will start placing my sheets wherever I want. Let me just drag this one. I can put a little bit down also, right? So the first thing should be region, right? Let me just make it a little small. Second thing, my second will be category. Third, subcategory. All. Why I have left some space over here is because now you can see there are multiple objects. Now I want to add my Edureka logo also. I'm showing my dashboard, right? So my brand name should be there on the top. So I'll just click on this image. I'll go to D drive, my logo is there. Select Edureka. Yep. So my Edureka is there. Let me click this one also as floating. Now you can place the way you want. You can place your brand name in the center wherever you want to place it, wherever it looks the best. Let me place it over here. Edureka. So right now, if I just, this is the option to create a full screen, how your dashboard will look like. Right now, my dashboard is looking like this, right? Let me just do a little bit tweaking over here. Now I want to add one more sheet over here, my scatter plot. I'll drag this one over here, right? I will go there, click on floating, and then I can resize it. I'll come down. So guys, right now I am having space till here only, right? I don't think this much space will be enough for me to represent both my overall performance and scatter plot. So you can change the size, right, of your dashboard also from here. You can, if you just change this one, can you see your width is increasing? Okay. If you change your height is increasing, right? So that's the way you can represent it. So now my scatter plot is here. Let me resize my scatter plot. So I want all my states should be there, right? So California is there. That's why I am trying to adjust everything so that the person who is looking at the dashboard can get the view, right? I can minimize it a little bit. Let's go back and go to full screen, right? You can always go to full screen and check how your dashboard is so far, right? So this is the kind of dashboard we are creating right now. Now my quadrant is there on the top. I will create it floating. I will scroll it down. The best place to put it, this quadrant would be here. Okay. So my quadrant is there. Let me put the region as well, right? If you just right click on this one. Okay. Come and click over here on the top, right click on this one, filter, and I'm not able to find where my region is there right now. I'll just click on this one, region. Can you see? The filter has come. I will make it small, scroll it a little bit down. So arranging your dashboard, right, arranging your sheets may take a while, but you want to represent it nicely, right? So that the person who is looking on your dashboard should get all the insights which you are trying to tell that person. So right now my dashboard looks like this, guys. I can scroll region, category and subcategory a little bit up. I think this is good enough for this dashboard, right? A basic one. So you can change whatever name you want to show, right? I just want to make it overall performance only. I can change the color, right? You have the options, right, to change the color, make it bold. If you want to create in center, it will be in center. If I create it in center, it will look like this. So let it be right, left aligned only. Okay, this is overall performance. And then my scatter plot is there. Bold, apply. Okay. So this is my first dashboard, guys. Can you see? The person who will be looking at this dashboard will be able to get all overall performance, right? Which region is performing, right? If he wants to know region wise, he can go and select central, east. The dashboard will be changing automatically, right? So south, you can see right now in 2014, everything, the sales is going up, but the profit is going down. So something wrong, right? Something wrong is happening over there. West is the best region so far. The sales are also high, the profit is also high, right? So he or she can select. If he or she wants to see category wise, like how the furniture category is doing, right? So this is how the furniture category is doing in terms of sales and profit. Office supplies, technology, right? That person can change subcategory, right? If he or she wants to see chair, this is how in central region how chair is doing, right? How subcategory is doing, how category is doing. So basically that person can see, right? That person can visualize just by looking at this overall performance on this dashboard, right? And then that person can also see how the states have performed, right? Just by looking at this scatter plot. If you just double click on this, right, scatter plot, it will go. It will maximize. You can see like that. So my scatter plot is also there. If you want to see region wise, right now there are multiple states, right? So I want to see central region only. Can you see only these all states are there, how they are performing? So there are states where the managers need to assess, right? There are states where the scope is there to go in retain, right? There are developing one. They have opportunity over here. If you go in the west one, so in West California is only there in the retain, right? It is doing pretty much good, right? Washington is also there and these all are here. So you can check region wise also, guys, in this dashboard. Okay, let me keep it this way. So this is my first dashboard, right? Where I have shown overall performance and scatter plot. Now I want to make another dashboard. So I'm creating two dashboard, guys, because if I'm adding all the sheets over here, it won't make any sense because it will be very complicated for the person to see and understand the insights, right? So let me create another dashboard. Again, I'll go over here, I'll create a new dashboard, my second dashboard. Now in my second dashboard, I want to show the other things, right? My segment, my revenue by category, and finally my forecasting, right? So I will just drag the sheet, this one here, everything is there. Right now, let me remove all the filters. Later on I will add. Okay, I will keep the segment. Then can minimize it. This one again by default it will be in tile mode. I can make everything in floating so that I can resize and do everything the way I want. Floating. Okay, I'll keep it here. This. So guys, when you're dragging your sheets, right now, can you see my cursor? Just look at my cursor. Okay, you're getting a square box over there. As soon as you are going outside your dashboard, okay, I want to place it more on, I'm moving it on top, you get a cross sign. So if you release your sheet over here, right, it will go. So while moving your dashboard, make sure it is there in your dashboard, right? While moving your sheets, make sure it is there in your dashboard. If you are going outside, it will give you a cross option, right? Your sheet will go outside your dashboard. So make sure it is there inside your dashboard. It is lying inside your dashboard, right? I will make it smaller so that my logo can come over here. Okay, I will make this one as floating. I will scroll it a little bit. I will place it on top. So now my segment at the rate profit is there. Let me add my segment at the rate sales as well. Let me come here, click on floating. And let me put the sheet right beside profit. Right now, so many filters are coming over here. Let me just remove it right now. As of now, I will add all the filters one by one. Let me remove it right now. Okay, so my Edureka should be there. Only the filter I have to remove. I will just click on this, remove. right? Once your sheet, everything is aligned, you can anyway add all the filters, right? Okay. So my segment at the profit is there, segment at the rate sales is there. Let me align both the sheets. So again, I can change the size of my dashboard, which I'm trying to show. I can increase the width as I don't have more space over here where I want to show my revenue by category. So let me increase the width. This much will be too much, I guess, right? Yep. Okay, let me put my segment over here. The segment can be same for both the sheets. I will place it over here. Now let's add our filters. Okay, let me go for segment and right click. Okay, come over here on the top of your sheet. Okay, this one where you get this sign, right? This sign when you get, just click on right click, go to filters and select your filters. Which all filters you want it to be there. I want my region to be there first of all. Let me select region. And then I can add one more filter over here. I want to see state wise also how they have performed, right? So I will make it as drop down, right? Make it small, bring it here. Let me just go to full screen. Let me see. Right now my dashboard looks like this. Let me just make my logo as little smaller, right? Yeah. So now in this dashboard right now we have just added our segment, right? So the person can see if you, that person just wants central. So can you see right now when I'm selecting central, this filter is only for this sheet. Similar filter we have for this sheet also, right? So what we need to do, should we add one more filter similar like this? No. What you can do is you can use same filter for this sheet as well. How to do that? Right click on this, apply to worksheets, selected worksheets. Click on selected worksheets. You will get a list of worksheets which are there on this dashboard. So right now my segment at the rate sales is also there, right? I can select this sheet as well and I'll click on OK. So now if I go back, you can see for both central region it's showing. If I want east, east is there. South, south is there. Let me just change it to value, right? Can you see central, east, south, west? It is changing, right? I have applied the same filter on both. I need not have two filters for the sheet of segment at the rate profit and segment at the rate sales. So I need not have two filters for segment at the rate sales and segment at the rate profit. My one filter can do the job, right? I can use this same filter for both the sheets. Okay. right? So this is also there now. Now let's add our revenue by category also, right? What we can do is we can make some more space for revenue by category. So half the space over here, we will give it to revenue by category. Now where is my revenue? I will just drag it over here. Okay. Again, I will go there, I will click floating. Now again, multiple filters are over there, right? Let me just remove this filter as of now. Okay. Let me keep this right now. Floating, scroll it here. Okay. Now let's put this sheet. Right. Let me make it smaller. Yeah. Now I can align my revenue by category. I have enough space now. And here we will place all our filters. Again, go to this sign, okay, where you're getting this sign, right click, go to filters. It will give you all the filters which you want to have. Firstly, I want my region to be there. Let me select this one. So guys, you have multiple options to choose, right? You can select the way you want to represent all. Next filter I want over here is state. I will go and select as state. I will place it over here. Okay. Finally, we will put all the segments also. Let's put the segment over here. Make it smaller. All right. So my revenue by category is also there now, guys. Now I want to add my forecast also, right? Where I'll be adding at the down, right? Let me just increase the height. I'll scroll the state over here. And my revenue by category, let me scroll it up. I will make enough space so that I can show my forecasting at the bottom. Right? Let's go back and see. So this is the kind of dashboard right now it looks like. Let me just, this one also has smaller. Okay. I'm aligning these two so that I can put my sales forecasting. Now we are good to go and add our sheet sales forecasting. You can change the color also. I keep the similar color what I have kept for other sheets. So my segment by profit is there, my segment by sales is there, my revenue by category is there now. Now time to add my final sheet. Let's come down and go to sales forecasting, drag this one here, okay? And right now it's in tiled mode. I will go here and click on floating. I will drag it down. Floating. I want to drag this also down over here or here, right? Come down, put your sales forecasting here and align it. So I have enough space over here. I will keep it till here. Let me put this one as center, as this is the only sheet at the bottom. Apply. Okay, sales forecasting. Let's see how it looks as of now. Okay, this is my second dashboard, so my sales forecasting is at the bottom. A lot of space is there. You can make it like this. Right. Let's add few of the filters also. The final touch. Let's add the region first. Also, let's add category as well. One more filter. Okay. Let me put this one here. Right. Now I have created my second dashboard also, guys. So for sales forecasting, if you want to see for East, see your forecasting will change according to the region, right? So a regional manager can come and see what kind of sales forecasting will be there for East region, right? For West region, if you want to see all, right, it will keep on changing. If you want to see category wise, he or she can select furniture, office supplies, technology, right? So that way you can check your sales forecasting as well. So this is what our second dashboard look like, guys. Segment at the rate, profit, sales, revenue by category, and finally the forecasting we have added. Our first dashboard looks like this. So the first two questions which we were supposed to answer, right? The overall trend and also how the states have performed, right? If getting answered from this dashboard, right? You can, the person who is looking at this dashboard, right? The decision maker, right? He or she can select the region category and see the trend and make a decision on that basis, right? And on my second dashboard, the other things, right? The segment wise, the category by revenue, and finally the forecasting is getting answered in this dashboard, guys. So all the 5 questions which we decided, right? All the 5 insights which we were supposed to find out, right? So we have divided it into these 2 dashboards, and these 2 dashboards are answering those insights, are giving us those insights. Now, once your dashboard is ready, the last thing is you can save it, right? So in Tableau Public, everything is on public server, okay? So everybody can access this. To save it, all you need to do is go here and save to public. So in case you guys don't have Tableau Public account, no need to worry. Just go over here, create one now for free, okay? You can create your own Tableau account. I have my account, so let me just log in. Okay, you can give a name, Superstore Dashboard. Save it. Now once you save it inside your Tableau account, right, it will be saved, this dashboard. Later on you can download it also, it will, and then import it in your Tableau. You will get multiple other dashboards also, all the people who have saved their dashboard on Tableau Public, right? So my dashboard is here. I can put some more information about my dashboard also here. So that is the last step, guys. So just to summarize, guys, the first thing that we did in this tool was to connect to our data, right? Once the data was there, we need to create a worksheet, right? So you have multiple things, column, rows, filters, right? Marks, your kind of visualization you want to show, right? And your data basically gets divided into dimension and measures, right? So you can create your worksheets, right? Depending on what you are trying to represent or what you are trying to tell through this kind of sheet, right? What you want, what kind of visualization you want to show, right? We created overall performance. This was the first insight which we wanted to give, the first insight, right? We gave scatter plot depending on states. Then how each segment is doing in terms of profit and sales, right? We used pie chart for that, right? This was the best representation to show different portions, right, of segments. Then revenue by category, we used bar plot, right, to show how category and subcategory are doing, okay? And we were able to find inside furniture, the table subcategory is the most non-profitable one, okay? Then finally we forecasted the sales. how 2015 will be in terms of sales. And we created two dashboards. In first dashboard, we gave our overall performance and the scatter plot. In second dashboard, we gave the segment of @profit, segment @sales, the revenue by category, and our sales forecasting. So we have come to the end of the session, guys, on this Tableau dashboard and Tableau tool interface. I hope it was an informative session, guys. Thank you for your time and watching this video. Happy learning.